Hello, Joe Markowitz here. Glad to have you with us today, creator and founder of Defender Gear. I'm excited to have my friend Chris Harris with us today, Executive Director of Unhyphenated America. Chris, good to have you here today.
Hey Joe, thanks for having me.
We're going to do a real quick Liberty Dispatch, which is going to set up what I'm excited about, a great vlog that is going to talk about this topic in depth. But today's Liberty Dispatch is all about the topic of what do you believe? Chris, real quick background on yourself, and then I want you to talk to them on this Liberty Dispatch, because this is really something we're going to build upon. It's all about what we believe. The decisions we make, how we are fiscally, spiritually, politically, success-wise, everything comes from our belief system. Chris Harris.
All right, thanks once again, Joe. So, belief is everything. And real quick background on me: I'm a military brat, born and raised. Family's from Detroit. My father joined the military, joined the Air Force just before I was born, and so my whole life, all my formative years were in the military, mainly overseas. By the time I was 18, I'd lived in foreign countries for 15 and a half years. And I was just watching something a little earlier, and it was talking about programming, and you are like what your content is. What content you've consumed has a large degree of, turns out, who you are. And it's funny because I grew up watching Armed Forces Network television. We didn't have commercials. We used to kind of like be happy when someone would bring videos of TV back stateside. We actually would watch the commercials, but the commercials we had were always things military related and national security related. So that's the way I grew up. By the time I was 18, I was living in Germany for 12 and a half years. So those are the kind of things that affected how I saw things. I would come back stateside on occasion, but my worldview was shaped by growing up in the Cold War overseas. And then I came back stateside and I became immersed in a different culture. And one of the things I love to talk about with Unhyphenated America is culture. And the definition that you'll find, culture is an agreed upon set of norms, mores, values, and traditions held by a group of people. And the interesting thing is you can be raised in a particular culture, but you don't have to stay within that culture. I was, once again, raised in a military culture, and then after 18, I started kind of living a little bit outside of that culture. And we'll go into it a little bit later on, or maybe another time, talking about one of the cultures people would refer to as African Americanism, which is something I do not, I don't believe in the culture of African Americanism because I've studied a little bit deeper now. But when I was 18 to 23 years old, I joined that culture, and my life had certain results. And when I left that culture, the results have been different. But it's about your beliefs, and you can change your beliefs. I mean, I am where I am today, and that's, I give all the honor, glory, and praise to God, but I am where I am today because I asked myself one simple question when I was about 27, 28 years old was, what if everything that you were told before was not true? And it's a scary question to ask yourself because your whole foundation can be shaken and basically destroyed. Luckily for me, I grew up in a strong family. My parents have now been married for 51 years, and so I have that blessing. But to ask yourself that question and be willing to go down the rabbit hole of what if everything I've been told is wrong is something I think a lot of people should maybe think about. And I hope that this is something you will think about, to ask yourself and then do yourself the favor of chasing that down. Basically just be willing to tear down all the walls. Listen, I'll tell you, it's a scary journey. It's definitely a scary journey. And you'll end up looking at a lot of things differently. Maybe, I have some other friends who've done this, maybe in some cases you might find yourself alienated from many people who were friends, maybe even family members. But I think one of the things you'll end up doing is you'll be standing on more stable ground because there is objective truth out there. And when you decide to become an objective truth seeker, your whole world will change for the better.
So we're going to get really into that in depth in our blog here. So today's Liberty Dispatch is all about your belief system. So looking forward to it. Make sure you keep an eye open for that. So Joe Markowitz, Chris Harris, till next time.